Originators having some trouble with some rate shoppers these days? I'm sure you are. Well, Carl White's got you covered. If you want some help with that, he can help you with those rate shoppers. Just click the banner you see right here, straight down below. When the video stops, just scroll down. It goes straight to his little website where he can help you out with that.
Do it! Just do it!
Yeah, you're right, Frank. Take two on this. It's amazing what happens when you record a video every day. Some days, they just don't work. Kind of like writing loans. But anyways, on with the show. Did you know, and this is shocking, that 21% of all renters are currently behind on their rent payments? That's a massive number. It's over 1 in 5. And according to a letter sent to HUD, the Treasury, and Congress, courtesy of the Mortgage Bankers Association, the National Housing Conference, the National Association of Realtors, and the National Association of Home Builders, and a whole bunch of other national associations of God knows what, in a letter they continue to state that
renters impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic already owe an estimated $25 billion in back rent and could owe up to $70 billion by the end of the year without federal assistance. These debts will be unsustainable and financially ruinous for renter households across the nation. Failure to act will put tens of millions of renters at risk of being evicted, undermine the stability of our rental housing system, and needlessly prolong our nation's ability to fully recover from the economic damage that has been wrought by this pandemic.
I mean, seriously, Frank, we have the pandemic, we have nobody working, we have the fires out here, we have the massive hurricanes that are down in the south and southeast right now. This is just turning out to be a nutty year for housing. So now keep in mind that those renters who are not making their payments are the landlords making their payments on those houses. Now, this is kind of a trip. The idea behind the letter is for Congress to act and do it before we take this COVID craziness and make it even worse. Kind of like the 50 basis points that was just levied and just yesterday taken off of all Fannie and Freddie refinances. That fee hike was as stupid as it would be to not bail out all of these unemployed and underemployed renters. These numbers are big. They represent over 20% of renters, about 10% of the entire population. You really think we can afford 36 million new, like adding on top of our existing and growing homeless population, more homeless people? Hey, and by the way, do you want to see what a growing homeless population can do to a city? Check this out.
Here's a year-over-year amount of real estate inventory in Boston, LA, Miami, San Francisco, Seattle, and DC. Notice anything?
Oh my God!
It sure looks like a good time to buy real estate in San Francisco. All those tech folks who are now working from home, they ain't going back to the city. And part of the reason I hate to say it is because the city has become something of a cesspool. And this really honestly pains me. Anyways, I just had a conversation with our ops manager. He knows somebody who is renting the top side of a bunk in a room that has 5 other people in it. His portion of the rent, $1,800 a month. Guess what? He now works remote, bought a house in Boise, and he's not going back. His mortgage payment is less. Now, this is going to be the new norms in a lot of these bigger cities.
That's right, we're seeing it first in San Francisco because it's the OG tech city. First in, the biggest, and the first to go. If I were you, I'd invest in burb cities with great fiber optics and very little traffic, man.
Business Insider's take on the exodus cited San Francisco's high cost of living. The median home value there is $1.45 million. And the fact that everything that makes living in the city enjoyable is now closed or altered because of the coronavirus kind of stinks. Did you know that over 50% of independent storefronts in San Francisco are now scuttled? That's a true number. And oh, by the way, Salesforce, the new big building, you don't have their 15,000 employees hitting up the South of Market for lunch every single day. And of course, even if they were there, you can't eat. And even if you could eat, you probably wouldn't want to because San Francisco has become something of a mess.
Now here's the irony. Home prices rose 4.3% annually in June, unchanged from the gain seen in May. This is according to the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price NSA Index. How's that one for you, Brian?
Very good, very good.
And the 10-city composite increased 2.8% annually, down from 3% in the previous month. The 20-city composite rose 3.5% year over year, down from 3.6% in the previous month. But still good. People are, in fact, moving out of high-cost markets and moving to more affordable markets. In spite of that, we're still seeing home prices rising and that's a good thing. Rethink!
Hey, listen, thanks for sticking with us over all of these years. But if you're one of the few who are seeing us for the first time, make sure you subscribe. If you like our show, forward it on to other people. But the best thing you can do is get our new mobile app. Then you don't have to mess around with any of this stuff. And here's how you do it.
Download the National Real Estate Post mobile app today. Available on Apple Store and Google Play. Just search National Real Estate Post.